Good morning. Hope you guys had a nice week. Welcome to Creative Mornings. My name is Jan, and we are designer today. So for the few that might not have been here yet, so Creative Mornings is a breakfast talk, as you can see. Hope you had a nice coffee. We are now in 190 cities in the world, so this format is happening every Friday, the end of the month. So we are around all year, so please come. And now the beamer gave up, or projector. And we are very happy to be at Designer today again. So thanks for hosting us. We are currently working with the Adobe Creative Residency. If you guys need more information about that, please talk to us, and then we can give you more information. And we would also like to thank Tanki, who brought those nice drinks for you guys. This is the team. So we have Jan on the camera, Lara, our social media feed, Christina, the face to Creative Mornings. And there's a few others, Lou and Vanya walking around, and me. And we are always looking for locations and people that would like to host us. So please come and talk to us. It's still too close, thanks, Jan. And then we can figure something out if you guys want to have a Creative Mornings event at your place. This is the hashtags. If you want to post a picture and upload something, please use them. And this month's topic is called Moments. And to my left side is Jens, and I will now hand over to him, and he is the speaker of this Creative Mornings. So thanks, guys.
I will try to put this on first. So thank you first for the introduction, Jan. I never had a hashtag, so that's fantastic. So please use it. I'm not sure if I can actually check it afterwards. I have to find out how this works, this kind of technology. Do you understand me well? Okay, good. No and so on and so forth. All right. Well, first of all, thank you very much to be here for such a big audience. I didn't expect that. That is great, but actually we expected it. So today, let me just start with an introduction of myself. Jens Roeper. I'm an executive director here at Designer, but I'm not going to talk about design today. We're going to talk about something which is more of a human, something which we believe that we design for, like a human-shaped world, but I want to borrow that kind of word and talk about more what the special thing is about being a human. And that's why we have this wonderful topic, Moments, and I would like to explore it a bit today with you. So let me see. So, the first question that I have to you, and there will be some interactive things in here during this talk. I don't want to, if I'm moving you too much, Jan, you're just telling me that, because I'm always tending to try to get to you rather than stepping away from you. So if you think in moments, the first thing that comes to my mind is actually, what is a moment and how long is a moment? So I would like you to stand up. Everybody stand up, close the eyes. And when you believe that a moment is over, you sit down. Thank you. This is great. It was something like in between a second and at least 30 seconds or 20 seconds, something like that. So basically that is, everybody defines a moment a bit differently. There is certain definitions of a moment, and some are pretty controversial actually. So just to mention two of them, an indefinitely short period of time And the third one is actually a definite period or stage in the course of events. So it's actually the way how a moment, such as it's defined, is not very clearly defined. It can be all over the place. So we went a bit into the back, and this is just to understand what this thing is. In the Middle Eve, actually, a moment was clearly defined. And it was, at the end, defined as an average of 90 seconds. That was it was. That's the definition of a moment at that time. But of course it changed apparently quite significantly. So yeah, a moment can be of eternity. When you have something awaiting, which is maybe not such a good news, it can be, you know, it can be threatful, a moment. But it can be very, very instant, and you will keep that as a moment in a very happy moment. Pretty surprising. And then it can be anywhere. Some of you might remember Kodak as well. It was called the Kodak moment. There was a whole advertisement about this. The Kodak at that time said, we want to capture the moment. We want to try to capture the moment of your life. And they did it with pictures. And they had at that moment, late in the, when was that? Wolfgang, do you remember when Kodak moment came?
I'm far too young for that.
You're too young for that. Kodak invented the digital camera. They basically the digital pictures, but they didn't believe in it, and they had their Kodak moment. That means they just went out of business by their own means and says, which was a bit sad, but that's how a moment also might manifestate here. There is something that we believe that could be before actually a moment. So awaiting a moment, like this dog now knows exactly what he's actually going to have afterwards. He's running for a stick or a ball or whatever, but at that very moment he's awaiting for a moment. He knows that this moment will come. Same for somebody like this guy, he's like just have an emotion, relieved at the moment when he passes the start line, or the other line actually, the end line. So we can define a moment by a very, very hard emotion, something which like moves you, something which is something that is for you, a moment that you define by yourself in a very personal way. Now this one, of course, can be also, it doesn't work actually, that should be a GIF that moves. Somebody remember that? Beautiful. Beautiful. I've never seen this film, but in Fully Total X, it's not true, I've seen it. A moment when it's just a pure emotional, when you think about nothing else and you can enjoy that very moment. And you can recall that kind of moment as well. Oh, here it goes. It was just like, okay, good. I need to put sound to it as well, I remember. Because I have a film piece afterwards. Let me just see this one that I've printed off. Watch it. It can be. No, it's all good. All good. Let's see afterwards if this works. But this joyful moment that we remember can also be something like that. It's actually a moment that we all share. I think everyone knows what you've done at that very moment when this happened. I can very much recall what happened, where I was, and how I felt this kind of moment. So moments can be threatful, moments can be very joyful. It depends how we define them, but there's one special thing about moments: we memorize them. We memorize them even if we don't want to memorize them. They come by sudden maybe, or they come by, okay, I can reach that kind of guy, I can reach this kind of ball, and then I actually look for this thing. A moment, and that's how we define it, is actually an experience that we cannot unremember. It will be burned into your head. And that makes us as a human, that's where I started, very special. We can remember things and we can go back to these things. And going back to these things is not only by seeing something, but with all our senses we can go back to these things. Hey, stop that. Having said that, moments can be revisited through memories. That's something that really makes us as a species special, and this is something that we can use as well. So, they have trigger moments. You might remember when you hear a special song. Everyone knows that just by sudden the radio plays a song and you're back into the days somewhere. Well, at least for me, I don't know how old you are, but for me it's true. And I'm then back in the days and saying like, I'm smelling something else. Smelling something, like smelling a flower that grows in the garden of my grandma, who's dead now, hello. It reminds me of these kind of experiences and these kind of interactions that I had with her and this kind of joyfulness that I had with her. So things that recall the moment, and suddenly the moment is not just as you experience at the beginning, the second when you sit down and things so, but the moment is a trigger that opens up for an experience. That's the beauty of it. That's at least how I think, and we can discuss it afterwards as well. So, at the moment we are in a technology world. Somebody knows spectacles? Yeah, sure. Spectacles. Thank you, Betty. I think we bought them. We don't have them at the moment here. Well, we have them here, but we couldn't find them. Otherwise, I would have trying to film you at the very moment. So we're talking here in capturing moments, but I'm not quite sure if these are moments or if this is just a capturing and data savings of happenings. So real time, basically capturing moments. This is something which is the development. So if you would not know these spectacles, actually you put them on and you would have film basically everything which is just happening around you. A bit like Google Glasses that time, but much more into a short time frame and much more into these kind of taking film snippets of the thing. So a snapshot is connected to it. So what this reminds me is actually a piece of film. Somebody saw Mad Men? Yeah, good, great. There's one who saw Mad Men. Mad Men is about the 50s, like the advertisement industry of the 50s, and this actually refers back to the Kodak that we've just talked to. So I want to show you that it's just like a 1 minute or 2 minute snap. I hope it works, because then we can talk further this thing. Let me see.
My first job, I was in-house at a fur company with this old pro copywriter, Greek, named Teddy. And Teddy told me the most important idea in advertising is new. Creates an itch. You simply put your product in there as a kind of calamine lotion. We also talked about a deeper bond with the product. Nostalgia. It's delicate, but potent. Sweetheart. Teddy told me that in Greek, nostalgia literally means the pain from an old wound. It's a twinge in your heart, far more powerful than memory alone. This device isn't a spaceship. It's a time machine. Backwards, forwards. It takes us to a place where we ache to go again. It's not called the wheel. It's called the carousel. Travel the way a child travels. Round and around, back home again. To a place where we know we are loved. Good luck at your next meeting.
Well, good luck with that. That was the moment when Kodak Carousel was introduced, and that was, for that one, the very moment when every single photo triggered an emotional moment for this person, just for him. And of course this kind of experience that he had was just for him. People didn't understand quite what he wants to do with this, but at the end they actually launched it like that. So that was like going forward and trying to understand really what triggers moments. Now we live in a world where you possibly do digital photos all the time, and quite honestly, who of you ever revisited these kind of photos and try to put them in a format where you would experience and have really true moments into it? I mean, I think Apple calls it anyway moments. If you go to your photo folder, it calls moments. But who actually revisited them and started to, you know, like group them and see like that was a true moment, or that was just a snapshot of something? Anyone? Oh, wow. Wow, I'm amazed. I can't do that. I really am. I just been to holidays for a long time and shot thousands of photos. I still don't, sorry, Christiana, did not manage to sort them out. Now there's desperately waiting actually for something like that. But I remember my father actually at that time, who was like in the 80s running with a camera in front of his head, like, you know, these old big VHS whatever cameras in front of them. So he filmed basically his whole holiday, right, all the time. And then he had his holiday at home. That's what he had. So it was ridiculous. So I was like, Daddy, why don't you just like enjoy the moment, enjoy that moment, and then afterwards you just take some pictures, and these moments will be, you know, you can, you know, go back to these moments because you really experienced them in real. And he didn't understand. So now we have tapes like that somewhere in a drawer, which no one revisited ever. He cut some of them, put some music underneath, but quite honestly, looking at them is like looking at your birthday or something like that. It was like, oh wow, I was young, superb, very nice. And then you put them away. If this is not an emotional moment, basically it doesn't work. So let's take a moment. Close your eyes now again, and imagine you had a moment that you could relive if you had a minute. Close your eyes and just try to think, what would I do with this moment? Okay, it's not a minute. I can't stop talking for a minute. Everyone has something? I'll give you some more time. Beautiful. You can share it, yeah? Happy you to share. It was only 20 seconds, more or less, something like that. But you want to share it?
Yeah. Last holiday, being in Croatia and looking in the sun and feeling the warmth.
The warmth of the sun. So being in Croatia for that moment and just feeling the warmth. So it's a completely sensual experience that you can recall. And pace. Basically, you attach it to something which triggers a moment. Beautiful. Somebody else? Oh yeah.
Drinking coffee in a crowded bar in Rome with people.
Drinking coffee in a crowded bar in Rome with people. And that triggers some happiness, I guess, because it smells like coffee and you hear the people, and oh, I can imagine that. I had some of these moments as well. It's very beautiful. So, but if this would have just been a second instead, what would have changed? If I would not let you just a moment to create, a minute to create, but it would have just been a second.
Maybe we would stay here where we are in our head.
Yeah, maybe we stay here.
Go farther away.
Okay. Anyone else? I believe nothing would have changed, because I think it doesn't matter how long this period of time is. I think actually the moment when you think of something, it doesn't matter if it's a second or if it's something, it's a trigger moment. It's a very short time, but it opens up for a whole experience. You just had that, and you had that just. It is something that comes to your mind. Maybe it's more difficult for you to find that moment and to define this moment, but as I said before, these moments are triggered by something which comes possibly from the outside. Be it an event, be it a smell, be it a taste, be it whatever it's going to be, but it's triggered there. So, there's a fun fact here. We had an extra second this year. Do you know why? Nope. Okay. There's we are always trying to merge our time, the world time, with the sun world. So we just got an extra second in order that the time zones are aligned with the sun movement. So this happens every 2 to 3 years, something like that. And people got an extra second actually this New Year's Eve. And this second, of course, is a gift, and we're going to use that one because nobody used it. So we were going to use it. So now you can have that kind of second and put a wish out there, and you could take that kind of second, write it down something, and that you haven't had, because this second basically you possibly slept that second, but we give you back that kind of second. So if you would have that kind of seconds, you would imagine you could do whatever. And I would like you in a moment, I would like you to write it down. But this is what people did actually with their seconds. Most of them, either they they actually captured it again. You know, they captured that moment. And this is not existing, but it is existing. Of course, it is true, it's real. Yeah, somewhere in Asia, people took pictures of this clock going to 60. 60 isn't existing in the watch. But this second has been given to all of us. And the beauty of it is that we can use it, this kind of beauty, this kind of second. So what you would do with this second is up to your own decision. And now that you know that we believe that moments are triggering a whole experience, I would say that try to put this kind of wish onto a post-it. You have post-its all around here. Try to frame it in just one word. I'll give you a couple of minutes to this. Try to frame it just in one word, what this wish would be if you could fill this extra moment with your thought. By the way, most of the people, actually there was a research, most of the people said they would possibly use it to sleep. So basically, I think it gives a good indication of how much you need more time, which is a symptom of our world at the moment, saying like, if I get more time, that's the luxury poor. So put this on a thing. One word, if possible. So, once you put, well, I see you're still writing, but you can still keep on writing. So this kind of moment is of course something that you haven't lived, because now it's a moment projected in the future. So far we talked about moments which were either real time, like the spectacles, that you are trying to all the time document the time what you're doing real time, or back in the time, so saying triggering a moment that you've lived. Now we are transforming a moment into the future. It's a wish. It's a wish that will come true for you. And I would like you to capture this wish on a post-it, but you can afterwards now. We will make a button for you. Actually, if you want like to, then you take this small little post-it here, and then in the back we have a kind of button machine, and then you can wear it around with you and just like, you know, transport your wish with it until you're going to use that second consciously for yourself. Thank you.
Thanks, Jens. Any questions from the audience?
What's your one word?
What's my
What's your word?
Family.
How did you get the idea to do this topic, to talk about it? What was your idea with it?
My moment, first of all, there was a topic given. It's his fault. But quite honestly, I found it very intriguing because it's a topic which brings you into a very personal life, and I thought about, you know, connecting it to design experiences, what we can change and these kind of things. But then I reflected it and I thought, like, no, this is actually something that we should talk about us as a human as something very special. And that's how it explored. And then I had a wonderful ghostwriter as well, Sandhya, thank you very much, who was helping me out in framing it. Well,
happy moments.
It's difficult to, you know, like ask questions about a topic that you've just been presented. Yeah. It's not opening up to us. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you'll enjoy more of these joyful moments like today, because I enjoyed it a lot, you being my audience here. I think we have still some food and some drinks, and we can talk afterwards here in between the things. Thank you again. Thank you.
So next month's topic is taboo. It's going to be March. And there's a premiere. It's actually us speaking. So it's going to be Vanya, Christina, and me. 10th of March. So it's not the end of the month, because it's of Munich Creative Business Week. So if you guys want to come, stay tuned. It's going to be on Facebook. Thank you, guys.